Welcome back to the return of the Wrestling Around podcast. We did our big return 2 weeks ago, and then we kind of forgot to record last week. So this is our second big return in a month, and I'm joined by my illustrious co-host. Oh, fucking hell, it's been a long time. Um, the world famous, world class. Jesus Christ, we start again. Welcome back to the Wrestling Around podcast. I'm going to leave that whole thing in. Where I am joined by world class wrestling journalist and massive fucking pickup truck driving. Aaron Franklin, how are we doing?
Nice. It's good to be back. It's been
Yeah.
it's been a while. You lot have been back well before me.
Yes, we continue to suffer through Wrestling Society X for another episode. We've got three more left now. Um, last week, but how are things? How is the truck? Which I will
Uh,
edit to sound good in post.
Very good. Very fast. Been driving around with a drinks cabinet in there for the last past week. Just couldn't bother to get it back out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just uh, just trucking around, as they say.
yeah. That should be the new podcast. Trucking it around. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
How are
how?
you?
Yeah, I'm really good, thanks you. I've been transporting a Christmas tree in mine.
Oh, that's our task for tomorrow is to go and buy a.
Yeah, I thought I'd get one on the weekend, but I wanted to give a shout out. I was going to bring my segment hero and villain of the week, and I had two heroes, but only one is relevant right now, and it's the guy who invented the Christmas tree bagging machine. What a machine! I was just amazed. Just when you go, just watch them bag it up. It's outstanding. It's just he picks it up, sticks it in a hole, comes out in a nice net. You can
Oh.
put in your car. I've got pine needles everywhere.
Yeah, we're buying our. We've never had a real one, so we're doing real for the first time this year.
Yeah, same, same. It's the first time I've had a house in it, so I can.
Yeah,
I've got room for one, basically.
I bought a new Hoover, so hopefully be able to keep the floor nice and clean from little pines.
Yes, yeah. I've got it's supposedly a non-drop one, but the back of my car does not suggest that it actually was. Um, so I should probably hoover that out at some point, really. But
Mm.
it smelled good. It's up in the garage at the moment, just kind of falling out. But I
No,
was
I've been told we're going to buy a Christmas tree and it's going up.
oh, you put it in the same day. Oh
Apparently,
wow, that
apparently.
is risky. Yeah, mine looks to be honest, mine looks a bit like a bush. It's not. You know when you're meant to browse them for like days on end.
Yeah,
Tree number two, and I was like, yeah, that'll do. That's the one. That's the one for me. No messing around. It's all the same, man. They're all like a tree like in the end. You know, if you want a uniform one, get an
yeah.
artificial one.
Yeah, the artificial ones are crap though, because they look good on the photos.
Yeah. Well, I think the more I had to put up, like once you've got to bend all the branches. I always
Mm.
thought the first time I bought an artificial one, don't know if I was just naive. I thought I'll get out of the box and it's ready to go. Oh my god, it takes forever to just unfold all the branches, and you can never get it back in the box. So I've got mine in several bin bags
Yeah,
in the garage.
yeah.
I thought,
They never look as good.
no, you know, put too many lights on to hide the fact it doesn't look anything like a tree.
Yeah. So I thought, no, I'll just go real this year.
Yeah,
See if that's any better. Nearly about the same price.
yeah, but it smells a lot better.
Yeah.
It smells delicious, actually. Not delicious. I want to eat it, but it smells.
I look forward to the smell.
Yeah, no, it looks good. Well, next week it might be up actually when we record, so we can compare Christmas trees on next week's episode. If Ross has a living room by next week, he could join us. Ross is looks like he's been ransacked his house at the moment. That's the only way to describe it. And Terry is what's Terry doing? So Terry's in his caught up appearance for this week. So there's no Terry, no Ross, just Lou and Aaron talking about the big return. Huge return, Aaron, this
Yeah.
weekend. Sunday morning, we woke up. We couldn't quite believe our eyes. Nick Opolewski is back, asking us, says, "Hey there, long time, don't see. Can you review a wrestling event on the WWE network for me, please?" Nearly round. So Nick's back. Don't believe you listened to the last one. He is obviously responsible for us watching Battle Royale at the Albert Hall. Don't believe you listened to it. In fact, do you know what? I should just ask him. I've not
Yes,
replied.
ask him.
I'm not even going to put hi Nick. I'm just literally going to go back with. Did you listen to the last one?
Yeah. Sec Did I say, oh no, it was the second best UK pay-per-view of all time. I think that's what I said in the group the other day.
After
Clash.
Clash of the Cat, yeah, better than All In. That is a big claim.
Yeah. All was all right. No
It
Clash
was
though,
all
was
right,
it?
wasn't it? Have you seen the tickets are on sale today for All In too?
Yeah, I nearly signed up for the pre-sale. And I was like, am I actually going to buy them pre-sale? Probably not. There's
I
no
don't
point.
believe there's any need to. If I'm looking at I don't think they sell as many at
Well,
the
they're not
moment.
going to now, are they? Now there's no Punk.
Yeah, and the stage is smaller, or they can't use one end of the arena because Taylor Swift is set up there.
Right,
So they're plopping him right in the middle. So they've got a different setup because of that. So they're using an end stage this time. So they kind of the little one in the middle. So where
right,
we were sat is kind of going to be the stage. But I think it's because Taylor Swift is already set up there.
right. Okay.
So I assume that the all in stage will just be Taylor Swift stage covered in a black curtain. But people are
Hopefully, yeah.
expecting a big WrestleMania one, but I don't think it's going to be from what I can tell.
No, I wouldn't imagine so. It's still going to be something fairly small.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see. But I think they've sold about 17,000 today, from what I can tell.
No, it's not bad, is it?
We'll see if Nick responds later on.
Do
In
you think?
attendance for All In will be Adam Holland. That was confirmed.
Mm.
That's the
Do you
big
think you're not
news.
going to have Sting? You're not going to have CM Punk? No, I'd imagine
No,
a lot of the audience there either see one or the other.
they are going to have Will Ospreay this time, which apparently is one of the reasons he signed for them, so he can win the world title at Wembley.
He was there
If you
last
believe
time
Dave
though.
Meltzer, he
Proper
was.
special.
This is the first time we've met since Will Ospreay signed for AW. He was revealed as the big signing. Do you think it is a big signing? Because it
Mm,
kind of feels to me that he was a guy who was already there is just going to appear more.
yeah, he's just a mid carder at best, isn't he? If he
Yeah,
went
I
to
think he
WWE,
is.
he'd just get put in the US title picture.
Yeah, and I think this is the what I thought was, and I nearly tweeted it, but I thought I can't be asked to deal with just assholes on my on my Twitter. I never really saw Will Ospreay as a WWE main eventer, and
No.
I think based on this, I don't think Will Ospreay ever saw Will Ospreay as a WWE main eventer. I think he's played it safe.
Mm.
I think he will
That'd
be
be
a
weird.
bigger star in AEW, but in AEW's terms,
Hmm.
not in real terms.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a lot of posters saying, "Oh well, CM Punk's salary's just been put across Osprey and Copeland."
Yes, yeah. I assume Adam Copeland got a very good deal out of it. Actually, he joined at the right
Must
time.
have.
I think.
He must have.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
really moved the needle, has he, on the ratings, which is
Surprising,
unfortunate.
I would
Yeah,
say.
it's it seemed like it was on in its downward spiral. I think we talked about. I think I was on with Terry at the time when he moved across, and I think the optic of Edge or Adam Copeland going one way, Jade Cargill going the other way the same week, kind of made it look a bit like the whole WCW WWF comparisons back in the day of the young superstars were moving to WWF and the old guys were kind of moving to WCW, so they were getting like Hogan, Nash, Hall, whereas people like Jericho, etc.,
Yeah.
Guerrero were moving across the other way. And it kind of feels like that at the moment that big stars are moving across into WWE and somehow becoming even bigger stars.
Have you seen any of Copeland's stuff though, at the moment? With, like Christian Cage and
I watched his debut and I've seen his vicious attack. Was it Saturday night? One of the
mm,
AEW shows last week. Or was it
doing
was it on
some good
Dynamite or
stuff.
Collision?
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I
He was
think
doing some.
it's entertaining stuff. I think Christian's been very good in his role as well.
Christian is very underrated,
Yeah,
in
his
my
whole
opinion.
family thing with I can't remember Nick Wayne's new name, but I know Luchasaurus is now Kill Switch, which I think is a very good move.
And I always say Chris Jericho is probably one of the best for reinventing himself. However, I think Christian Cage is potentially even better at
Yeah, I think his character just being a bastard,
it.
essentially.
Yeah,
is brilliant. Is brilliant,
yeah.
to be honest. The promo with Nick Wayne's mum was really insane. Actually, like how he gets aware of what he's saying. Like, surely he's got to press the wall in advance. That yeah, right, I'm going to say this. I'm just going to
Yeah, it
disparage
must.
your dead husband
Yeah, it must do.
several times, then imply that we slept together. Is is I don't think you can shoot that. Like, surely it's got to be scripted to a point. Like, you've got to get that cleared.
So
Surely.
didn't he refer to Ric Flair like a black liver a
I
few
didn't
weeks
see
ago?
that, but that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's a
But
huge sign as well.
Ric Flair was there laughing. I'll try not to laugh.
Yeah,
Yeah, Ric Flair's another big signing.
yeah. Odd signing again. If the perception is you sign loads of old WWE guys, Ric Flair is probably not the way to go. But I believe it must be a favour to Sting. I know he's
Yeah,
came out as a present, but maybe Sting's
yeah.
like sign my buddy.
Wants to be well, he's going to be a manager in of some description. I
I
don't know how long. I
know.
don't know how long the contract is.
So he said, I I don't know if his contract is for longer, but he said basically he's going to be on TV until Sting retires.
Right.
He's there to just manage Sting until his last match, which I think is at Revolution, which is
Yeah.
normally the last week of February, first week of the
Hmm.
March, which I'm assuming will be in Atlanta. I don't think they've announced it yet, but that would just make too much sense. I think you want it in WCW territory. I think if it's
Yeah.
Sting's last match, I don't think you can have it in like Honolulu or Albuquerque or something. I think it needs to be in a WCW town,
I think he's going
maybe
to be
North
a man of
Carolina or
his. I
something.
think he's going to be a man of his word. Last match.
I don't. I think he might be the a man of his word. I worry that somehow Ric Flair will have one more because I don't think that Tony Khan's strong enough to tell him no.
Well, he wants to die in the ring. He said that
Yeah, I think if
in
Ric
an interview
Flair
again.
wants to wrestle, I don't think Tony Khan's going to say no to that. I
Because
think
he'll
he's
just
going
see
to
it
let
as
him
money,
wrestle.
won't he?
Yeah, and also he'll see it as he's grew up as a wrestling fan. He's got Ric Flair in his promotion, which is probably why he signed him.
Hmm. Yeah, we'll
But yeah,
see. Time will tell.
interesting times on the AW side. But obviously, we've kind of hinted at the big return in the WWE is R-Truth came back
Yes.
at Survivor
Yes.
Series. Genuinely, what a pop.
That was a
Like,
huge pop.
it was it was absolutely insane. Like I did not see that coming at all, actually. I was like, bloody hell. Yeah, R-Truth came back in a what was he talking about? Oh yeah, it was the Ruffles advert,
Ruffles.
wasn't it? Yeah. It was is it chips? Is it crisps? No dog. It's Ruffles. What a return there. Nick, who's not replied yet, R-Truth in the same night. Could it get better than this? Yes, it could. But I think we'll start with. So we're not watching Wrestling Society X tonight. Apologies for anyone who's desperately tuning in. We're going to say we're going to do episodes 8 and 9 tonight because we just want to get rid of it now before Christmas. I'm not. I'm not continuing Wrestling Society X into 2024. If we don't finish it, we're just not doing it. I'm retiring from the podcast. Um, but we're not doing it tonight. We'll do it next week. Tonight it's just me and Aaron, so we're gonna go through Survivor Series. We're the only two wrestling journalists who watch wrestling out of the four of us. We figured while there's only two of us, two of us who actually keep up to date with the product. We might as well watch it. You know, if Ross was here, like I didn't get why he had two rings. What's that about? So well, it's just the two of us. We thought we'd just cover Survivor Series 2023 and keep you up to date with what's going on in the current day WWE. So we'll get started with that then. It was absolutely rammed at the Allstate Arena. It
Mhm.
was so it actually sold more tickets than it did for WrestleMania 22 in the same building, which was quite impressive. And I don't even think it was off the. There was some speculation that CM Punk was going to return, and does he? We'll find out later tonight. But I genuinely just think it was because WWE is a really hot ticket at the moment. I don't think it
Yeah.
sold out. I don't think people was expecting him to turn up. I think it just sold out because WWE is the place to be at the moment.
Yeah. Well, Triple H had announced Orton's return. I think in retrospect to throw people off the scent.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why they did it. But even
Yeah.
still, to be in Chicago at a pay-per-view and have Randy Orton return, that's huge.
That's a big deal. It's a big deal. And they sold out
16 months
SmackDown
off.
the night before as well, didn't they?
Mm,
So 2 sellouts in a row in the same arena is really hard to do. For comparison, and that we shouldn't compare them too much, but I believe so. AEW had Dynamite in Chicago on the Wednesday, and it sold about 4,000 tickets in comparison. But I think AEW are guilty of running Chicago far too much,
yeah.
and I think they do well to stay away from it for a while now. Given this this week's news, we're skating around it, but it's just going to permeate everything. So let's just go ahead and talk about it now. CM Punk is back. I was
Yes.
going to go in order, but I'm just too excited. CM Punk is back in the WWE. Aaron, did you spoil it for yourself, or did you manage to get it? Did I spoil it for you in the group chat, or did you
No,
get to witness it live?
I didn't watch it live. I'd seen the spoilers the following morning.
Yeah.
I turned to my wife and said, "Knew it."
Mm-hmm.
And I'd said to her the night before, CM Punk's going to return. She doesn't know anything about wrestling. She doesn't
Yeah,
care.
didn't care.
I was just talking
Yeah,
out loud. I was like, CM Punk's going to return tonight.
yeah.
No one believed it, did they? All the
No.
journalists were saying, no, it's not going to happen.
So I was the complete opposite. I
I
was
was,
gonna
I
stay
was
up and watch
adamant.
it. I was gonna stay up and watch it, and I thought, no, there's no real point. And then I went on Twitter the next morning just to double confirm my suspicions that he definitely wasn't there. And then I was going to watch the Survivor Series. I just got a notification from WrestleVotes. That's a fuck's sake. Spoiler for me immediately. But yeah, because I think it was a really good show overall. We will go through Survivor Series match by match,
Mm,
but we may as well. I mean, this was the final 2 minutes of the pay per view, but I think it's overshadowed absolutely everything. Um, if you believe Triple H, it was 10 days beforehand. So there was that wild speculation as soon as he got fired from AEW that
yeah.
Survivor Series in Chicago, they're going to do it, and then it just kind of the closer it got, I think the less and less people believed it. And there were a few hints from WWE, but I think it was just people being, if you believe Triple H's version of events and Fightful's version of events and Dave Meltzer's, they've all got the same version of events. There was nothing in it at that time. People were just having a laugh. Um,
Mm.
and then it was only in the last 10 days that it sounds like Triple H was just like, oh, maybe we should bring him back.
Where I read it was that they met 10 days prior, but the actual contract wasn't signed until hours before.
Yeah. And it's a multi-year deal as well. It's not just a one-off
Yeah.
appearance.
And the main event, the main eventers didn't know he was coming back until literally as they went out the curtain.
No, and that's really interesting actually, because obviously I watched it. I watched the main event with the knowledge that Punk was going out at the end, but also
Mhm.
I'd read a lot about them being pissed off, and I was trying to kind of gauge the gauge the reactions
Mm.
to to how it went. Because I was like, so let's just go for the people in the main event. Dom Mysterio, do you think he cared?
No.
Oh, probably too young. I'm sure that CM Punk back when he first debuted said that Dom Mysterio was the best babyface or one of the top babyfaces in WWE, and I'm sure he's praised his heel work as well. Damian Priest is an interesting one because I think he's Mr. Money in the Bank, natural feud with Seth Rollins, but now CM Punk's come in, and
Yeah.
that's the very very natural feud for CM Punk, Seth Rollins, based on what's been said.
Yes. Although it's been told, hasn't it, that Seth Rollins' reaction was a work.
Yes, yeah, yeah. I think it's one of those where I don't think Seth Rollins likes him because I think there's a lot of heat from the Shield days, isn't there?
Yeah, I watched an interview earlier, and I think it must be very, very, very recent because Seth Rollins is being asked about CM Punk, and he says, "Yeah, I don't really like the guy, but I've got a lot to be thankful for him for. And if he wants a WrestleMania match down the line, I'll be very open to that."
Okay, I've not seen that one. I thought you were going to reference the one where he calls him a cancer,
I know I did see that one keeps
which
popping up
was,
on my timelines as well.
and that was from when he got suspended from AW the first time.
Yeah,
Which seemed like a bit of a work, but also he was just contracted to AEW at that time, so it was. But if he was working, he was doing it very early on.
yeah.
Um, But yeah, I mean that reaction. If you're getting held back by Michael Cole, it's a whack, guys. Right? Just
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Like it's
Apparently, Michael Cole was very pissed off.
yeah.
Apparently,
Did
he
you see
threw his
the?
microphone.
Yeah, did you see that? It was apparently it's because I think I just read this on Twitter, so it's probably not corroborated at all. Apparently it's because Triple H cut his microphone off because he didn't want any reaction. So Cole was responding
Right,
to it like, "Oh my god," and then he realized that Triple H was like, "Yeah, I've turned you off, man,"
right.
and that's why he was pissed off. Apparently,
That makes
um,
sense.
yeah, because I was thinking it was a bit weird that there was no commentary, but then I guess because CM Punk didn't do anything, it probably didn't need it.
Hmm.
It might have been ruined. Like I think Cole would have been good. Corey Graves
It'd have
would have
ruined it.
probably killed the moment. To be honest, this
Yeah.
if it was Pat McAfee, leave him on all day.
Mm.
But yeah, I think with old Corey Graves, it probably wasn't good. But yeah, so Seth Rollins is an interesting one.
I think that's your natural WrestleMania 40 main event in
Yeah,
like night one, isn't it?
that makes sense. It's the irony of it of like CM Punk not wanting to railing against part time as main event of WrestleMania, and that's probably what it'll end up being this year. Although there is rumors today from a Reddit insider, Kermit something. I don't know. We're getting deep in the weeds now. That match is actually going to happen at the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
They're just going to get out of the way.
Right.
But do you have CM Punk win going to Mania as a champion, or
I think
do you have him lose his first match?
in the nicest way possible, I think that title needs to come off Seth now.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree.
He's had a good run with it,
Yeah, I think
but
it's just the whole point of it was that they didn't. Roman's reign was basically boring, wasn't it? So they wanted a new
yes.
world championship.
And they're doing exactly the same with this one, where he's having a
Yeah,
long run.
yeah, I agree. I think the problem with Seth Rollins' title reign so far is that every person he's beat, it would probably be better if they were the champion.
Yeah.
Like Nakamura, I think we've all wanted to. Well, a lot of us have wanted to see a Nakamura world title reign for a long time.
Hmm.
It didn't happen. And then same again with Finn Balor. I think Finn Balor is someone people definitely want to see. You know, he had the 1 day world title reign like 7 years ago now, but I think people would like to see him have a substantial world title reign before he retires. So
But then I think he's just been overshadowed now by Damien.
yeah, did you notice that Michael Cole called Damian Priest the leader of the Judgment Day
Yeah.
on Sunday? I
Yeah.
think that was the first time that's ever really been said. But yeah, he's right down the pecking order now.
Yeah.
Finn Balor. Um,
It's Damien, I mean, I've been saying for a while, Damien Priest is like your next in line for main eventer.
yeah, yeah, agreed. I thought it was. I think with CM Punk coming back, there's probably no point. But I thought it was a good tease of a cash
Yes.
in the War Games match, specifically during the War Games match as well. That was quite interesting. I'm not sure how that would work. Oh, would it have ended the match as well
Yeah.
if it had won?
Well,
Yeah, it would have because I know was it Brian's. Someone had a really good idea of it. He cashes in, but then the match continues. But I think you could only do that in the old school War Games. You couldn't do that in
right.
WWE's version because it needs to end by a pin, doesn't it?
Because at that point they thought Orton hadn't arrived and that was
Yeah.
just going to be 4 and 5. So yeah,
Yes.
the match would have ended, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. It would have. Yeah, which was quite interesting that he teased Randy Orton not being there. But I guess they could do that because they were confident that CM Punk was coming out afterwards.
Hmm.
So there was no way the crowd could get too disappointed.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we're all over the place now, but Randy Orton looked good, didn't he?
Oh my God.
Isn't he a big boy now?
He is jacked, isn't he?
Yeah, he's absolutely massive. Yeah, which is
I didn't
interesting.
realise he's as tall as what he actually is, but he's about the same height as Drew, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah, he's a big lad. I mean, even Drew McIntyre doesn't look that tall until you see him. Were you at the WCPW show we went to
Not sure.
where Drew McIntyre was there? And he
No.
was just massive compared to everyone else. Like, he just looked like if you imported someone from a different video game, you meant someone
Mm.
like slightly too big. He just looked so much better than everyone else. Is the only way to describe it, really.
Yeah.
He looked like an actual star. Even Cody did actually when he used to do those WCW shows.
Yeah.
Back
But
in
Drew is apparently pissed off.
yeah, he's been pissed off about a lot of things apparently. Um, I wonder. Yeah, I wonder what's going through his head. Do you think he's going to be? We were just talking about All In earlier on. Do you think he's going to be at All In, or do you think he's going to be at whatever's the same weekend, Bash and Berlin?
Well, so from what I've read today, WWE are going to be offering huge salary bumps. The reason for this is that all UFC um, fighters, that we're
Yeah,
calling them,
yeah, yeah, fights.
um, get 17% of the revenue. In WWE is a hell of a lot less than that. You're talking more or less single figures.
Yeah.
So it's expected within WWE that they're going to start bumping people up to close to that
Hmm.
17%.
Yeah.
In which case, are they going to offer Drew a big salary bump, which is what he's been asking for and he's been denied,
Hmm.
or they're just going to let him walk? It's going to be one or the other now, isn't it?
Yeah, because I wondered if that's why he was annoyed. It's like, hang on a minute, you're not giving me any more money, and you just sign this fella. That's a natural way to think in a workplace, I think.
100%. It's not,
If you want to raise, but they're saying no, but employing other people.
yeah, but Punk ain't going to be coming back for a small salary, is he?
No, no, not on a multi-year deal. Is not. It's going to be
No.
which I'm surprised by. Actually, I thought it might be more like a part-time a Legends deal, not just a straight up multi-year deal.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, apparently, so Drew McIntyre did a promo at a press conference, not a press conference, at a house show yesterday.
It was apparently awful.
Yeah, he kind of it was a video. It was like almost like selfie camera ons, I think, but it was on the screen, and he wrestled in the main event.
Right.
Um, but it was like, oh, you've heard all the rumors that I'm annoyed. Yeah, I'm annoyed at a lot of things, sort of thing, really. So it could be a work, or they could be kind of playing off. Triple H likes to kind of blur the lines a bit more, doesn't he,
Yeah, which is
when it
good.
comes to this
I,
stuff?
I like it.
Oh yeah, it keeps you guessing
Mm.
for sure. Yeah, so it's hard to tell if that was a work or not. And then Seth Rollins also cut a promo on CM Punk at the end.
Yeah. Randy
So,
Orton just kind of sat on a steel chair. Did you see that?
yeah, he waved
He
to
started doing sit-ups and looking at his watch,
yeah, they started
telling
waving to
someone
each
off.
other, didn't they, or something? CM Punk
Yeah.
and Randy Orton. So I thought, yeah, because I wonder how Randy Orton feels. Like his return's kind of been overshadowed a little bit. Do you think he's
Mm.
enough of a veteran to understand?
Yeah. He knows the business, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think so. And then Cody Rhodes, obviously, he's
My
worked
only,
for CM Punk before.
yes. My only concern for Cody now, and I think a lot of people are probably in the same boat, is where does he go in the pecking order now?
Yeah,
Are they going to use CM Punk? This is what I was saying about do you use Punk and Rollins for WrestleMania so Cody can still have his moment with Roman?
I think you would do that because I think it's clever because I think if this was like a year or two ago, I think CM Punk versus Roman Reigns was the biggest match you could put on, any wrestling promotion could put on, in terms of like two big top stars. And the way it's like the handpick guy, it's the same story as CM Punk
Mm.
versus John Cena, right? But updated. But I think Seth Rollins has done enough in the media I think people are now more intrigued by a CM Punk Seth Rollins main event than they would be a CM Punk Roman Reigns main event.
Yes, I'd agree.
So I think you can just go with those two. Um, Unless they do something. Now I'm thinking out loud. We talked about Damian Priest. Is there the possibility that they do CM Punk versus Seth Rollins at the Royal Rumble, which apparently is rumored,
Damien cashes
but
in.
Damian cashes in during the match, and then CM Punk technically hasn't lost. So you can do the big match, but then it would be because then you can kind of they've had the match, but then CM Punk hasn't lost, and it's either they can do a rematch between Seth and CM Punk without the
They could do a
title.
best of three. Yeah.
Yeah, or you could do a best of three, or you could just do Seth Rollins versus Damian Priest at WrestleMania. Don't know what that means for the Royal Rumble, though. That would mean Cody would have to win it again.
We could just take Seth out the title picture entirely. Because
Yeah.
nowadays, anyway, just because you lose the title, don't mean you get an automatic rematch now.
No, it doesn't actually. So he'd have to chase for a bit.
So yeah, you put Damien in a title match against whoever at WrestleMania,
Yeah.
and just have match three of CM Punk and Rollins at WrestleMania.
Yeah, you could even
That's
do
how I'd
Finn
do it.
Balor. I don't know if that's a big enough match, but you could do the Judgment Day split
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
for WrestleMania. Um, oh, Randy Orton's there as well, right? He's another. You can just slot him into any main event feud,
Hmm.
and he'd work pretty well. Or Sami Zayn. The possibilities are endless. There's about
Yeah, there's
six
so
different baby faces now. It's amazing.
this. Yeah,
It's
Jey Uso.
yeah. Jey
The
Uso's
one
another one.
just going to Jey Uso. I really didn't like. Drew McIntyre's work during that War Games match.
Yeah.
He was blaming Jay for losing at Clash.
Yes. And he wasn't there.
He wasn't even there.
Yeah. Yeah, I
It's,
think he's
at,
got that thing
fir-
where he's kind of a deluded heel, isn't he? I think's
mm,
what they're going.
at first, he started out by saying, "Your family did this," and then he was going, "You did this," and I was sat there thinking, "He wasn't even there."
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. It's a bit of a weird one. I don't know if it's just they've lost it a bit, or if the story is, like Drew's just he's lost the plot completely now. He just hates everyone, or he's just got an irrational hatred for Jey Uso. Because I don't really care about seeing Jey versus Jimmy at WrestleMania. I think at this point I'd rather see Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso
Yeah, I would agree.
if that's the way they're going. I don't know. There's something about Jimmy Uso that's just kind of
Yeah.
it's not quite up there with the rest of the bloodline. But I think Jey Uso's a main event star himself now.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
100%. He's been taken to new heights with this moving across to Raw.
so Raw. Yeah. Yeah, I saw in the press conference someone told Cody Rhodes that their team were like the Avengers, and I was like, that's pretty good actually. It's like they had 4 baby faces. Like everyone, baby faces are popular in WWE now. That's the weird thing. Kind
Yeah.
of. Hopefully, CM Punk doesn't kind of ruin that. But you had 4 really, really over people on one team, which is unheard of, really, given how
Uh,
it's been so difficult to get people over in WWE recently.
Do you think they'll go down the route then as Punk as a babyface and turn Seth heel again?
I don't know. I think they might play it face versus face for as long as possible and see which way the crowd turns because it's hard to tell what the reaction to CM Punk is going to be like
Outside of Chicago.
outside of Chicago. But even in Chicago, the chants were booed down before he came out. I think everyone went mental when he came out.
Hmm.
And shout out to the guy who took his chance when he had it. Armor on CM Punk.
Yeah.
Shouted Chicago down there like 6 times. Didn't freeze. Knew exactly what I wanted to do,
Hmm.
exactly what promo I wanted to cut. And he went ahead and did it. That was forever immortalized now, one of the biggest WWE moments ever. Just some fucking loon shouting Chicago repeatedly,
Yeah.
which is really good.
Well, I should go through the.
Nick has replied,
Has he?
breaking news. He says he listened to Battle Royal at the Albert Hall.
Okay.
Now, can we believe him? I think we're gonna have to. I could
Right.
probably go back and go on the location data of Open Aircast if I wanted to, but I'm gonna believe him.
Has he got any requests?
I'm gonna. Well, that's why he wants us to review another one. And who are we to say no to the great Nick Opoletsky? That's
That's it.
wonderful. Actually, I'm gonna put sensational. I like that. Sensational. Um, what would you like us to review?
For anyone else listening that wants us to review a certain shirt, get in touch.
Get your requests in because I believe if we get up to 100 Twitch followers, that Ross is going to review Battle Royale at the Albert Hall solo. He's gonna do a watch along on our Twitch channel of Battle Royale at the Albert Hall. And we never break a promise on wrestling around.
Never.
So that is happening at some point. And more breaking news from Brian Alvarez. Interestingly, morale might be even worse now in AEW, with a lot of wrestlers upset about the optics of Punk moving from AEW to WWE, feeling it makes AEW look even more like a minor league.
It is a minor league, isn't it?
That's from, out of all people, that's from Brian Alvarez,
Do you think?
Mister AEW, some might say.
Do you think that MJF is maybe sat at home right now thinking, "What have I done?"
Yeah, because
That's signing
are you under the impression that he's resigned for longer than 2024?
2027.
Yeah, I don't think they would have teased it as much as they did if he wasn't already signed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely got that impression because I think he's really good, and I think he's kind of carrying the can for AEW in a lot of ways.
He is now that you've lost some of your big names, i.e., Cody and Punk.
Yeah, yeah, and there is a perception now that if you're a big star in AEW, you shouldn't be there for too long. Jed Cargill's another one who's kind of gone across. And I think we're now in that mindset again because WWE is so good, and I think WWE is the better promotion out of the two now. I think almost objectively speaking, from what the quality they're putting out,
Yeah.
that we're getting back to a case of the big stars in AEW. You want to just see them jump across to WWE. It's kind of like a when are you going to be in WWE type thing now. It's not like big stars on each side.
Yeah.
It
It is.
like with Edge, it seems like a noticeable. He's doing some good stuff, but it just doesn't seem right, does it? That he's
No, but
there.
then is he being used better than what he would have been in WWE? Probably.
Yeah,
Just because, I mean, WWE needs to be very careful in the fact that if you do have a few more AEW stars popping up, like, they don't just snatch them all up because it's gonna, you're just gonna be so watered down with how many wrestlers you've got
yeah,
and giving them TV time. Whereas I think at the moment you've probably got more or less a near perfect balance.
yeah. The only
Near
thing I think they
perfect.
could do, and it would be shots fired at AEW as well because it would make them look smaller. But do they kind of start treating NXT like they used to when they started bringing loads of Ring of Honor stars across
Yeah, I think they should
and debut a
make it the
lot? Like
third
say like
brand.
Ricky Starks or someone moved across instead of putting him on the main roster, would you put him on NXT for a year
Yeah.
beforehand?
For me, just make NXT your third brand and not your developmental brand.
Yeah, get him back
Send
on the
some,
road,
yeah,
get him out of that bloody TV studio and
yeah,
into proper arenas as well. Be amazing,
yeah.
even if the smaller arenas are more kind of like hardcore fans. Nick is back. He's requesting for. Oh my fucking god.
Oh no, what is it?
Oh, fuck's sake. UK Rampage 1992.
92. We're doing it,
Well,
obviously.
we've got to do it. Right, hang on. Let's see how long this is because Battle Royale at the Albert Hall was a long one. UK. Oh my god, is it even on there? Why is it sent me? The fact it sent me a VHS cover doesn't fill me with hope that this actually exists on
Well,
a WWE
he says he
network.
wanted some off the network, so he's probably already done the research.
He better have done the bloody research.
If not, we're gonna have to watch some sort of insurrection, aren't we? If we want something
Oh yeah.
UK.
UK Rampage 1992. It is 2 hours and 18 minutes. Oh my god. Okay. Right.
That's not too bad.
Let's look at the card. Right. Well, we will review Survivor Series at some point during the show. We've kind of gone backwards. Don't worry about it. We're rusty. It was in Sheffield, interestingly.
Ah,
Sheffield, there are 8,000 people there. Right. What have we got? 8 matches. Tatanka versus Skinner for 12 fucking minutes. Legion of Doom versus Kettle Mustafa and Dino Bravo. Why not? Sid Justice versus The Undertaker. Randy Savage versus Shawn Michaels. Okay, it's getting more interesting. The Mountie versus Virgil.
well, yes, that's gonna be a
Wow.
match for the ages.
Your favorite Bret Hart versus Rick Martel. Jim Duggan defeated Repo Man. Oh, just spoil that one. Sorry, sorry guys. Jim Duggan versus Repo Man. You can probably tell which way I'm reading these out now. Don't go back and look. And then the main event, the British Bulldog versus IRS.
That is not a main event. Come on.
That's the main event. Live from Sheffield Arena and aired live on Sky Movies Plus. Right, well, we're gonna do it. We will do this. Thanks for your support.
Terry and Ross are doing it this time.
Thanks for your support. Love, Terry and Ross. There we go. We will do this. Love, Terry and Ross. So, yeah, I think they're well up for it.
Well, they've missed out on the Albert Hall.
They did, and I think Ross was especially disappointed that he missed out on that one. Really good. I'll just let those guys know that that's what they're doing next week. Good lads. Do you know what? I don't know why. I thought it was going to be something good. I don't even think this guy's British. This is what's mad about this. I just put okay. So, no thanks. It's literally just put okay. So in there with the fans. It's good stuff. It's what you love to see. Thanks, Nick, for that wonderful support that you've given us there. But yeah, so UK Rampage 1992 coming soon. For 2 hours and 18 minutes. The one after was only an hour and a half, 1993. Maybe we
Was
should
it?
do that instead. Yeah. Or we could do both in one sort of super episode.
Mm.
Some point, Christmas special.
It's a lot of watching for those two, though, isn't it?
Oh, it is, yeah. 4 hours. I have to carve that out somewhere. But, Terry's got his new glasses now. He can be able to see in HD. Be good. Good for those guys. You won't listen. Anyway, so back where were we? AEW, right? That's where we're at. The breaking news from Brian Alvarez that the morale is not good in AEW because of this, which surprises me actually. They kind of chased him out, so I assumed they would be okay from turning up in WWE.
You wouldn't think they were too bothered because no one wanted him in AEW.
Well, that's what I thought. But have you seen this graphic that's going around where I think it's just people who have just presumed that these people want to be out now and want to be back in WWE? But it's got FTR or the Revival, Alistair Black, which I think, or Malachi Black, sorry. I think he almost certainly wants to be out. Did you see he mentioned CM Punk on Collision on Saturday night?
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, not on the poster. In fact, none of these people I'm about to reference are on the poster, which is for All In, which is interesting. Ricky Starks. Has he been hinting? I know. Did he post something like the Indeed job site or something?
Yeah, I think so.
So I think he's deleted it now because I went to have a check, but I've seen a screenshot a few times.
Just going back to FTR though, where would they fit in with WWE? Because there's a lot of tag teams that aren't being used on TV.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're that good.
And I don't think that tag team wrestling is that popular anyway. Like, I know the main event of WrestleMania this year was a tag team match, but I think that was because of a 3-year long story rather than anything else. I don't think Ross has clocked that I signed off with his name on that message. But we'll find out soon. But yeah, I just, like the Revival came back. Well, I think they've signed long term now, haven't they, for 3 or 4 more years? Like, who are they going to? They can't wrestle the Usos. They're gone. So you got like Alpha Academy, Judgment Day,
Viking Raiders.
There is a tag team battle royal tonight, isn't there? To find new opponents for Judgment Day. Which
you got the OC. Are they even on TV at the moment?
No, they've barely been on. And there's big rumors, if you believe. I don't know if it's just people coping, but there's big rumors that AJ Styles could also go to AEW.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the people are now predicting it'll be AJ Styles and what's his chops? Drew McIntyre at All In. You've got Imperium, DIY are back. You got the New Day, Indus Share, and the Creed brothers. That's the tag team battle royal for tonight. Right. Oh, sorry, it's a tag team turmoil, not a battle royal between those 6 teams. Alpha Academy is the other one. So it would be interesting. Apparently, AOP have been signed for like a year now. They're in the programs now. They're not on TV yet, but they've been starting to be printed. The programs are just pictures. Apparently, AOP were in the first one on Survivor Series.
Are they just going to put them into NXT? Or are they going to go straight to main?
It looks like they're going to be on the main roster if they're in the Survivor Series program.
Okay.
Someone mentioned they could be heavies for a heel Punk. That's the route they want to go down. Last time we saw them, they were in a faction with Seth Rollins as well.
Yeah, I'd fetch them to go to Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
I always think that Punk works best on his own.
Yeah, I don't think he needs anyone.
No.
Obviously, at some point as well, he's got a natural storyline with Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns if they want to go down that route.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would on CM Punk, I would just get all the big matches out of the way now. Because you don't know how long it's going to last. So I would just do every dream match. Just in case he blows up again. I'd just burn for him, I honestly would. I'd
Yeah,
do
like
him versus
Triple.
Seth Rollins, him versus Roman Reigns, him versus
Did,
Sami Zayn, whatever you want to do.
did you watch any of the press conference?
I watched the whole thing actually, weirdly. I was yeah.
Yeah, like Triple H says, it's a. I did laugh when he said CM Punk. I've changed and CM Punk's changed. I thought, well,
Yeah.
he hasn't. But he
Got-
said it's a different company, isn't it? And it is a different
Yeah.
company.
Hmm.
WWE manage people a lot better. They're a lot more strict.
Yeah.
I think he'll fit in better in WWE than what he will in AEW, where they kind of just left to their own devices, or they were at that point.
Yeah, I think so. Dave Meltzer was saying that basically he felt by the end, CM Punk, and it's probably no surprise that he ended up back in WWE because I think he realized once he's in AEW after about a year, he didn't have a lot of respect for Tony Khan, and he started to view WWE as the big leagues. You know, like
Uh-huh.
when he was like, Hangman hadn't done shit in this business when he'd been AEW champion for 6 months.
Yeah.
So if he hadn't done shit in the business and he's been AEW champion for 6 months, it kind of just implies that the only thing he thinks is worth really chasing is the WWE championship.
Hmm.
So I think, and he's on his last chance, but also he's a bit of a hothead, isn't he? So
Yeah.
you never know. He could just get sick of it and walk out. Like he doesn't need it. I think he's got the wrestling bug at the moment, but I don't think he's struggling for money.
Hmm.
Um,
We'll
but
see.
hopefully he
Well,
wants to see
time's
his
going to tell, it.
yeah. And I really liked him. Like I was when we were all in, I kind of booed the hell out of him because I thought, oh, I want a dick, and he probably is a dick. But it's just something about him as a wrestling character. I think that it just kind of it took me right back to like Money in the Bank 2011. Um, when I was watching on Sunday morning, it was for me when I
Mm.
finally watched it. But it was that buzz again. It's the same time like when he came back in AEW. I'd never watched any AEW, but I decided to stay up till 3 a.m. to watch Rampage of all shows. I just think he's got something about him that draws people in.
He's money, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. Even if they only put him on Chicago shows from here on out, they announced WrestleMania
1.
41 in Chicago. I don't know if it's got a venue yet. That'd be interesting. It wouldn't surprise me though if like SummerSlam or something is at like Soldier Field or Wrigley Field or whatever the stadiums are in Chicago
Hmm.
next year. I think they do well to capitalize on this as soon as they can. We're a big crowd.
100%. Right, shall we go through the card?
Yeah, we probably should. This is a Survivor Series review. First match tonight. There was only 5 matches. It
Mm.
did very much feel like a two match show. And that's not a bad thing at all. The first one was Tatanka Rest. No, I'm on the wrong one.
It's the women's
yeah. There
uh,
we
the
go.
women's War Games match.
It was Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Shotzi, and Becky Lynch defeated Damage Control in the women's War Games match. 33-35. What did you make of this?
I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I and I won't give my star rating away yet, but it was just a good match. I think that the challenges went in at the right time.
Yeah.
Like the timings of each person going in, if that's the right wording.
Yeah. What did you make
Um,
of the because obviously it was a fan vote, wasn't it? But what did you make of the baby faces having the advantage?
I liked it because I knew that the men's event was going to be the opposite way. That's
Mm-hmm.
the way they'd have been able to do it for Orton returning.
Yeah.
So it worked out well.
Yeah.
Um, because the babyface had the disadvantage in the main event.
Yeah, because it got a lot of criticism online, but I was the same. It's like it's quite cliche, isn't it, to always give the heels the advantage?
Yeah, I honestly thought Damage Control were going to win that though.
Yeah,
That match.
yeah. No,
Why
it was interesting. Go ahead.
Damage Control just can't see to get going?
No, do you think they're gonna kick Bailey out?
Yes, I think it's going that way,
That's
isn't
the
it?
way because she did. I noticed Michael Cole was praising her all the way through, which I thought was interesting, given that feud they have, but also because he was almost going, Bailey's been amazing, and then she took the pin at the end
Hmm.
after saving Kairi Sane.
Yeah,
But I think she's going to end up turning babyface.
I think you're right. And I think it's been building for months and months.
Yeah.
I think that now Asuka has joined, Kairi Sane's
Hmm.
joined. I just think that they're going to turn on Bailey and say, "Well, you're the reason that we're losing."
Yeah. No, I think that's 100% what they've set up. Whether it's this Friday on SmackDown
They
or
made a
if they
lot of
make it last a bit longer.
they made a lot of references to the Four Horsewomen, and I know you can't do that now because one of
Yes.
them's not there.
Well,
But
this is what I was thinking, right? So the rumor mill is in overdrive today, but someone, Ibu of Wrestle Purist, who he probably ain't gonna listen to this, comes across as a bit of a dick on Twitter to me. That's a bit of an AW shill, but apparently he has some sources, and he is saying he thinks Sasha Banks is on her way back to
really,
WWE.
that would make
So
sense why she's not been seen on AEW TV in a
yeah,
long,
she's
long
kind of
time.
given AEW a bit of the short shrift, hasn't she? She turned up at All In the
All in.
crowd.
Yeah, and then nothing since.
Yeah, and she wrestled Kairi Sane when she was in Stardom or in New Japan, who's now back. Um, I'm just thinking out loud now because assuming Dakota Kai's fit soon, there's 4 people on Damage Control
Four
and
Horsewomen.
there's 4 horsewomen. Is
That's your
that
war
your?
games, isn't it, for next year?
Is it the War Games for next year, or could it even be done beforehand? Could that be a WrestleMania match in itself?
Yeah, it could be actually. Yeah, thinking about it.
Yeah, I know you've got
It's a,
the championship on IS Sky. I don't know if you want to take it off her before they do that. There'll be plenty of opportunity to do it if that's the
can,
route they go.
can we talk about Sky and Dustbin
I love that
died?
spot. I
That's
love that spot
fantastic.
so much. Yeah, I'm glad they did that again. I know I don't like repeating spots, but I'm glad a bigger audience got to see the dustbin on the head
Yeah.
spot from when she did it in. I think am I right in thinking she's been in every women's War Games match?
Yes.
Yeah, which is a hell of it. That could be a thing now, like Mrs. War Games, Miss War Games. But yeah, that was an amazing spot. It really was. Charlotte's moonsault off the top of the cage as well.
Yeah, I
She
just
kind of landed on the feet, but still,
one,
yeah,
and I know why they do it, but you can tell all the time when they're going to do like a big spot because they're facing away from the ring,
yeah.
going to do some sort of moonsault, and then all of them are stood in a like a little crowd at the bottom.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
know.
contrived because Io Sky spot was amazing, but it took so long for it to put the bill on her head.
Yeah,
Like, and then it panned away, they're all just there waiting for it. But
yeah. In person, probably doesn't look as good. On TV, it looks awesome, but
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No,
I
it really did.
understand why they do it because they've got to protect the person jumping, and you can't just do that with one person.
100%. I'd much rather they do that than be unsafe and someone take a stupid because those
Yeah.
rings are hard.
Hmm.
Like, there's no give on those ones, especially if you've got a bill on your head. Like, you've got to be safe. It's an hard job for them because she can't see where she's going.
No, absolutely.
It's just the more I think about it, I don't know what's more ballsy. Charlotte's jumping off backwards or Io Sky jumping forward, but with a bin on her head.
I I think you can a lot more can go wrong jumping backwards.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just gonna just flash
because she's
back
kind of
one.
going head first, isn't she?
Yeah,
As
because I'm just
well.
gonna flash back one pay-per-view
Yes.
to Rey Mysterio, Logan Paul, where we could have seen Rey Mysterio dead in the ring if
Yeah.
Logan Paul had caught him.
Hmm. Yeah. Agreed. That was a. Did you see Logan Paul blame himself for that?
Yeah, so he
So
wasn't
I
in the
was in the
right
right
place.
position. Yeah.
Hmm.
But I don't think I think even if he was in the right place, I still think that would have happened. Because Rey Mysterio just didn't say enough.
No,
But I think he
no.
slits on the ropes.
That shows how good Logan Paul is, and he hasn't been doing it that long.
No.
In retrospect,
Yeah. Where do you think we'll just sidebar now to Logan Paul? Where does he fit at WrestleMania? Do you think he comes back before WrestleMania?
yeah,
Do you think he's got a big match at the Rumble?
does he win?
In another
Maybe last
year,
year.
do you know? In another year, I wouldn't put it past him. But
I think
I
it's just
think,
there's too many people, isn't it, at the moment, that need to go into big matches.
yeah, I think you either give it to Cody, you give it to Cody or Punk this year. I think,
It's
or
gonna,
or Finn Balor if you're doing a Judgment Day thing.
I think you give it to Punk at the Rumble
Yeah,
and give Elimination Chamber to Cody.
yeah, I'd like to see it not be Cody again, just because I think if you give him too much, the crowd might turn on him. I think we
because
all know we're getting to that match, but I don't
yeah,
think it needs to. I think if anything, the bloodline should cost Cody in the Rumble. They
but they
should like
can't.
take him out.
But then in the elimination chamber, they can't.
Yeah, so he wins it then.
And I just don't think Punk could last stamina wise in an elimination chamber.
No,
Not at 40, what is he, 45?
45. Yeah,
Yeah.
which I need to hasten to add at this point that Bobby Lashley is 2 years older than him. But Bobby Lashley looks a lot younger, to be honest.
Yeah.
But then how old is Randy Orton now? He must be in his 40s. He's been going on a while.
43, 44?
So
Must be.
like, the average age is creeping up, but then they keep themselves in much better shape. So it's 43. Randy Orton.
Mm.
Apparently, he said 10 more years on Saturday night.
Nah, this is his last run, and this is his last run.
Yeah, his last full time run. I think
Yeah.
it'd be another Triple H type that'll just go until he can't anymore.
Yeah. We ain't gonna have. He's just had double fusion back surgery. He's not got that many surgeries before his buddy can't do it. Do you know what I
No,
mean?
that is true. Speaking of surgery, actually, one person I've not thought about that a lot of people have suggested for CM Punk at WrestleMania is Steve Austin. They
Oh,
teased it
that's a money match, that, isn't
about
it?
10, 12 years ago. If you're going to do it, you've got to do it now, really.
Mm.
Austin's like 59, 58, 59. CM Punk's 45. Amazing there's only 14 years difference between them. I don't know why, but you'd think it would be a lot more. I don't know if it's just me, but hard to believe that Austin's peak was like when he was like 35, and that would be considered a youngster now.
Yeah.
Um,
And I
but
always
yeah,
thought he was a lot older than what he was when he was wrestling.
yeah, it was. But Mick Foley retired for the first time when he was like 34, didn't he? I think it
Mm.
was. I thought I'd misheard that one the first time I saw that match,
Yeah.
which was don't fucking bode well for us, does it? If he retired when he was 34. You've got one more year of the Wrestling Around podcast, 1.5 years, and then we're done. But yeah, well, oh god, we're all over the place tonight, aren't we?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of places to go. And I think that makes it really exciting, actually, that you can go in many, many different ways. Because I really want to see Logan Paul versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, that's someone else that you've got to fit into WrestleMania.
Yeah,
So when does he come back?
is he come back in the Rumble?
Surprise
But then is
entry.
he the type where he has to win it if he's in it?
Yeah, I think if he came back in the Rumble, he's got to win it. You don't
Yeah,
want him to win it
I think unless you have him come out really early and he gets screwed out of it quite early on,
and set something up.
is maybe one way you could do it. Yeah,
Which is
so
what
he
they did
doesn't
the
look
other
like he could
year.
win it.
That's what they did the other year. Was it with Braun Strowman?
Yes. Yeah. Was he in the Rumble that Cody won?
Yes.
I can't remember who got eliminated by now.
I can't remember.
But I remember he got kind of not screwed over, but it was like a lucky. You know, I'm
Lucky
gonna see,
elimination.
let's Google it. Yeah, but yeah, Brock Lesnar's another one. Don't you kind of wish as well that John Cena had stayed around for like another month just to see some sort of interaction with Cena
He'll
and
be
Punk?
back though, won't he?
Yeah, I think so. He's on a. I don't know if he'll wrestle, but I think we'll see him again. I would say this is the year he goes
Because
in the
you've
Hall of
still,
Fame.
because you've still got people like LA Knight to get in as well.
Yeah. Oh, Brock Lesnar was eliminated by Bobby Lashley.
That was it.
Yeah. And then yeah, because then he swapped, didn't they? They didn't go down that route they were going to go down.
No.
At the end of they were going to do Lashley versus Wyatt. Yeah. Hard to believe that was this year. Wow. But yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of people. While we're talking about WrestleMania, and we will finish the Survivor Series review at some point, I promise. But do you think that's it for The Rock now?
Do they need it?
Do you think that ship sailed?
I don't think they need it. Not now.
Yeah, I would agree.
I would look, I am not saying that I wouldn't like to see it because the little 10-year-old in me would love to see that match.
Yeah.
However, you've got Cody, who is probably he's without a doubt in probably my top three now.
Yeah.
Current. You've got Punk back. So that's your title picture sorted, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I don't think you can wait another year for Cody. I think Cody said himself that him beating Seth Rollins doesn't mean anything because
No.
he needs the WWE Championship for his story. Yeah, I don't think you can go another. Because what does Cody do if he's not facing Roman? Like he's already beaten Brock twice.
Put him back in a tag team match. But do we want to
Yeah,
see that at WrestleMania?
no, I
Not
don't think
really.
that seems big enough. The only thing maybe they could do Cody versus CM Punk, but then you're probably relying too much on AEW for your backstory there, aren't you?
Yeah.
When there's a lot of story to be had with CM Punk and the Shield guys, or two of the Shield guys. Yeah,
Well, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting next. What are we on?
it is. Yeah,
5 months?
yeah, 5 months. I saw one website today report of WWE going to build use the next 2 months to build to the Royal Rumble, and I was like, well, yeah, that's the calendar. That's not a scoop.
Yeah,
Can't
that's
remember.
just because that's the next pay-per-view in line.
I don't know who reported that one, but it was shocking. Shocking that one. So let's get back to women's war games then.
Yeah.
And obviously the women's title pitch as well, because obviously we mentioned Nia Sky is the WWE champion. Yes, and then Rhea Ripley's the world champion.
Yeah.
Charlotte and Becky kind of hugged it out, got back together. I wonder what they're going to do. Are they going to go down the four horsewomen route?
I think that's if they can get Sasha,
Yeah.
it's the logical thing to do, as much as I
Yeah.
hate Sasha.
I wonder if they put, because they were teasing dissension between Becky and Charlotte only on the Friday. Bear in mind, they've only been back on the same TV show for 2 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had the big hugging moment on Saturday night. I wonder if that's setting up the fact that they know Sasha Banks is coming back in.
Maybe.
So it's like you've got two of them on board. Then you have to get Bailey on board. Or does Sasha Banks make the save for Bailey when she inevitably gets beat down?
Yeah, that'd be a big pop, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But you'd need to do that at Royal Rumble. You'd need to hold on to Royal Rumble for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Which they might do, because it might be that Bailey costs Io Sky the championship at some point. Or you could just, if you want to play the long game, just have Bailey win the Royal Rumble. So he probably deserves it. Face Io Sky, and you could do it all afterwards. Sasha can come back night after Mania.
Yeah.
Or night of Mania as well.
Yeah.
If you wanted to. But yeah, it's interesting. Because then there's also the tag team titles, isn't there, for Becky and Charlotte, if that's the route they want to go down.
There's so many possibilities at the moment.
The tag team title, women's tag team titles still exist.
Yeah. What's the name? Piper Niven.
Oh yeah, Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, surprised they're not back in Damage Control at the moment. That seems like a matter of time. Not them two, sorry, the titles. I mean, not Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. That would be horrendous.
Yeah, I think that's probably a matter of time, isn't it? Now, especially now they've got some more members.
Yeah, you can see like Asuka and Kairi Sane going for them, winning back the championships or something. But yeah, it's all interesting stuff. So, what do you give the women's War Games match? What is the official Franklin star rating?
4 stars from me.
4 stars, yeah. Yeah.
It's a good match. Also, shout out to Bianca Belair for that double suplex. That was awesome.
Yes. She's just insanely strong, isn't she? Bianca Belair, for a woman of her stature. Yeah. No, I thought it was a really good match. I thought they played it really well. I really like the story of Dakota Kai kind of being the one almost kind of gaslighting Bailey out of Damage Control as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty well done. And also the fact that they had her on the outside, so that even though the babyfaces had the advantage, they were kind of still disadvantaged by the fact that Dakota Kai was messing about. I thought that was well done. And he had loads of crisp adverts everywhere, and I barely noticed him until after the match. So good for the branding. The next up, we had a very interesting match. We had Gunther, the longest reigning Intercontinental champion, defended against The Miz, who is, according to some people, the greatest. I'm not sure if I agree with that assessment. I think he just had that one good run, didn't he, when he had that feud with Dolph Ziggler?
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think of this match?
Oh,
very different styles.
Shout out for Chris Jericho.
Yes, interesting that you mentioned
I was very surprised about.
Yeah.
So obviously would have then tied Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I think it was, is it 8 or 9 that Jericho's
Nine
on?
Jericho's got.
Yeah, so Miz must have 8. Yeah.
But it's also interesting because Cole said that with all of Mrs. combined, he's only just ahead of Gunter, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. They've not been very long because I can't remember. I said obviously there was that one with Dolph Ziggler, and it was the one where he's feuding with Roman, which I think is when people started pretending the Miz was really good. Just because it was like in that era where like anyone versus Roman was like amazing and Roman was
Mm,
awful. And I'm sure that was when it started being like, oh yeah, Roman's really good. I mean, sorry, the Miz is really good. It was like 2016, 2017, I think.
yeah, the Miz is good.
Yeah,
He's a safe pair of hands, but he's
yeah.
not amazing.
No, he's probably like a Hall of Famer, but Marcus of his tenure, he's more like a
Yeah,
Tito Santana, Coco Beware type
yeah,
wrestler, where he's always good, safe match, safe feud. You want to get a well, he's a babyface now, anyway, which is weird in itself. Um, but you want to get someone over, use the Miz. He'll do anything, celebrity matches.
hmm
He'll do them, backstage skits, good representative for the company. But yeah, he's never going to be like the top star. You sort of send him to the local news to represent WWE, but you don't send
yeah.
him to Good Morning America or whatever, I would
No,
think.
no. But I
Um,
enjoyed this match.
yeah, I thought it
There's a
was really
couple.
good. I
There's a
saw,
couple. There's a
good.
couple of moments where it was like, "Oh, is he going to do it? Is he going to
Yeah,
do it?"
yeah. They're really good. I think the hope spots on Gunther's matches are really good, where he just every match he has, it's like the Chad Gable trilogy, where every match he looked like he was going to lose the title, even though you
Yeah.
didn't expect going in at all. They really made you think that it would be possible. I think it was Evan Meltzer Alvarez. It was a bit harsh, but it was kind of, I guess, what most of the things. It was like, it was below average on the Gunther scale, but above average on the Miz scale was the way one of them
Yeah.
described it, which is a bit harsh, but I kind of get what they mean. If it wasn't Gunther's usual style, it was a more WWE style than what Gunther normally does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought the Miz can wrestle if he wants to. Um, he just doesn't need to every night because he's a safe wrestler, isn't he? He's been injured once, as far as I remember, and that's because he got attacked by zombies. Um, but the rest of the time, it's just been I don't think he's ever injured anyone. Been a
No.
safe pair of hands, just good
Yeah.
industry veteran.
There's probably no one on that roster that if said, right, I'm putting in a feud with Miz, and then no one would say no.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
they know they're going to get looked after, and they know they're going to go over.
yeah, and that's it. And you can put him in any like if you had a house show and your child or someone was injured, you could just slot Miz in the main event against a top babyface, and you won't be disappointed. If you went
No.
to a house show and it was like Seth Rollins defending against the Miz in the main event, you'd be fine with that.
Yeah, 100%.
That'd be a good fun main event. But yeah, I thought it was a good match. It was always suffers when it goes after the War Games match.
Yes.
I think it was probably the hardest spot to be in that sense. But I think they did. I think they did well. And what would you give it on the Franklin star ratings?
3.5 from me.
Yeah,
Not Gunter's best match, but like I say, it's a safe match. It was an hard one to follow.
yeah, yeah. It was, but it was good to see Gunther defend on a pay per view for the first time in a while. It felt like
Yeah, couple of
he's
pay-per-views.
he's been on
Not been on.
SmackDown for a while, hasn't he? Did you see he can't leave the US at the moment, so he won't be on the Australia show?
Yes, did see
Yeah,
that.
he's got visa issues. But I'm assuming that Gunther holds that to WrestleMania.
I think he will. He's got to win.
Yeah, that's another
Even if
potential, probably a more likely opponent for Brock Lesnar.
you put the title on Lesnar,
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see Lesnar with the Intercontinental Championship.
he's never won it, has he?
No, is that would that? No, he's that won't make him a Grand Slam because I assume he's never won the United States either, or even a tag team. I see he's probably only won world
No,
titles, hasn't he?
no, I think he has. Sure, he's won tag team
Has he
titles.
won it with like Kurt Angle or something when they were doing those feuds?
Yeah. Oh, not too sure.
Let's do a quick Google, a quick fact check.
Oh, looking on the old Wikipedia.
No, he's only ever won World Championships. He's won the WWE
Oh.
Championship 7 times and the Universal 3.
It would be a good way of getting the title off Gunter and not losing the prestige that Gunter has added to that title.
Yeah, agreed.
You've got to be very careful you put that title on next.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people are talking about Chad Gable, but I think that's happened now, that feud, hasn't it?
Yeah, you
And he
don't want to
didn't
go
win it.
back to
I
that.
don't think you need to go back to that now. I don't think anyone's clamoring for it. They were in the moment.
The thing is, if Lesnar wins it, he's going to have to be back full time
Yeah,
to
it
hold that
doesn't.
title.
It wouldn't feel right, would it? The Intercontinental Championship disappearing for a while. I know the United States one's just about to do that, but it just there's something about the Intercontinental Championship feels like it just needs to be there every week
Yeah.
at some point.
Which if they could get Lesnar for 6 weeks, that's long enough, isn't it?
Yeah, just take it to the next pay per view and lose to someone.
Yeah.
You could even lose it back to Gunther if they wanted to go down that route, just so he's defeated him eventually.
Yeah, but then
Um,
does Gunther go into the main event after WrestleMania when
yeah,
Roman's probably not going to be around?
possibly. He'd be a very, very, really good first challenger for Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. Well, you saw that at the Royal Rumble this year,
Yeah,
and
and
there's
he said he's going to
unfinished
be in
business
it.
there.
Yeah, he's already said he's going to be in the Royal Rumble. Said that
Yeah.
in the press conference. He could win it. They could just double champ him. That's
Imagine.
might be how his reign ends. He just wins the World Championship and puts the Intercontinental down.
Yeah.
Could be one way of doing it. Although it would be weird for it to end. I know the Samoa Joe did that with the Ring of Honor TV title, didn't they? And it didn't go down particularly well with
Mm.
certain members of the crowd. But yeah, all interesting stuff. Have they never done Gunter versus Lashley? I know that's heel versus heel at the moment. For
I
the
don't
belt on
think they have.
SmackDown. That could be a route to go. But yeah, good match, and I'm glad that right decision, I think, for Gunter to win. I think that
Yeah.
was
Just carry on with this reign because I'm
really
enjoying it.
obvious. Yeah, Sam, just take it through, mate. If they're not going to put it, I think basically they shouldn't take the title off him until they know for sure he's going to be in the world title picture immediately afterwards.
The
If
only
not,
other
there's just no
person,
rush.
the only other person I can think is do you give Sheamus another shot, but then he's in a potential one to jump gun in to AEW.
Yeah, he's another one who's I think his contract is up
Yeah.
next year. And there's another thing. I know that Gunter is Austrian, but they've got a pay-per-view in Germany next year. He is like a European
Mm.
wrestling legend, isn't he? He's big in WXW in Germany, so maybe they want him in a big match there. Oh, Ludwig
Yeah.
Kaiser is German. If he they split up, I don't know. That would be a wild main event. Ludwig Kaiser versus Gunther. Maybe. Are the only one French? Backlash is in France, in it next year.
Yeah, I don't think there is there?
No, they have to bring back
Rene Dupree.
René Dupree. Is he French or is he Quebec? I can't remember.
I think he's
Is he
Quebec and they just
actual? I
used
can't
him as
remember. Yeah. Oh, there's Sylvain Grenier, isn't he? But hopefully there's some famous French wrestlers they can bring back for Backlash. Um, Speaking of places they should do a pay-per-view, Mexico, and that's where we're going next. So Santos Escobar, the newly healed Santos Escobar, defeated Dragon Lee, 7 minutes 40.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't really watch this match because I got distracted by my little boy.
Fair.
I was quite disappointed that it wasn't Carlito
Yeah, they swapped him out
at last minute.
on SmackDown. Yeah, I've not read the reasons why.
Injured, apparently.
Is he injured? Yeah, I wasn't sure if they just wanted to kind of give Dragon Lee a bit more exposure because apparently Triple H doesn't like the fact there's a perception that foreigners can't get on, basically,
Right,
in WWE. So that's why he's treating Nakamura so seriously at the moment.
right.
Why
Well,
he's treating Damage Control seriously.
that's just what Cole said was that he was injured. Whether that's legit, I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah. They did an angle where Santos Escobar took him out basically
Ah,
on SmackDown the night
okay, so
before.
probably not legit injured then.
Yeah, but it looks like Dragon Lee's part of the LWO now. This and apparently, and I feel like we've had this 1,000 times before, but apparently Dragon Lee is the new Rey Mysterio. He's the guy they want to the new Master
Okay.
Luchador for the WWE. So sorry, Callisto. Sorry, Sin Cara. It's Is there anyone else? Just them two? There was two Sin Caras, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. But yeah, they're out. It's all about Dragon Lee now Apparently,
Okay.
he's the new kid on the block when it comes to that. But yeah, I think the idea is he wants to coax people across like Julia from Stardom, and I think he wants people like Roosh eventually. And Andrade, I think Andrade seems to definitely want to be back in the WWE at some point. It's just decking everyone until he gets his release. But I think that's the idea, is that he wants like more people to come across from those promotions. There's
Yeah.
talks about him going for Okada again. So I
Yeah.
think,
Seen that.
yeah, is that who I'm sidebarring again now? Is that who Shinsuke Nakamura is talking about? Do you think?
Hmm.
Is that a wild
Interesting.
guess? Yeah, because apparently it wasn't CM Punk that he's been calling out for the past month. Because when they
Okay.
started those promos, they weren't even talking to CM Punk. Um,
Could be
so
then, couldn't it?
could be Okada,
Like,
but that would be a long game because I don't think his contract's up until next year. Um, he has feuded with Brock Lesnar before in the past in New Japan. Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm just trying to shoehorn Brock Lesnar into any feud I can get him
I
into
wouldn't be
now.
against seeing that.
I think if you're showing you're taking Nakamura seriously, even if he loses to Lesnar, but it's like a good 10, 15 minute match, I don't think there's any harm in that.
No, I don't
It's a
think
good
is
one
it.
for Brock to come back into, but I think it doesn't harm your credibility.
No, it didn't harm Cody.
No, no, maybe he did with Omos because we've not seen him since. I don't think, but
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be long before the firing line.
no, I just don't think Triple H cares about him, does he?
No.
He was just placating Vince, I think, earlier in
Yeah,
the year
and now
with
Vince
that
has got no power
zero
really.
power,
He's
apparently.
going
Yeah.
to be gone.
Did you see it was interesting that Triple H didn't need to get any sign off from the TKO board for CM Punk?
Really.
Yeah, if he just said as apparently Nick Khan and Triple H get the final say on who goes into WWE, and the TKO board just says as long as you're still making money,
Not bothered.
we don't care. Yeah. So
I
it's
expect.
which
I'm expecting some more cuts soon.
yeah, I wonder if they'll do it like WrestleMania season again, or if they'll just do it kind of because there was a big, not a big load, but there was a few, wasn't there, a few months ago?
Hmm.
Top Dollar was the big one that got released, I think. I can't remember if there's anyone else. But yeah.
Dolph.
Sorry?
Dolph.
Yes, Dolph, yeah, of course, yeah. But yeah, it almost makes sense. Like if I know it's horrible, but it's sports teams kind of cut players, don't they? And it's very
Yeah.
similar to that, really. And luckily there's a lot of options around for wrestlers to go to.
Yeah.
Matt Riddle, of course, he left as well.
Did you see his tweet?
Yes, yeah,
You
very
think I
bitter
was
with
hard
that.
to work with? Try working with 0 to 2 CM Punk.
Yeah, that is it's interesting now, isn't
He's
it?
not wrong, is he? But it'll
No,
be
I don't
interesting.
think so. Yeah,
But like
be
I
interesting to
say,
see how it goes. I will say that I think CM Punk was a much bigger star. I think he's probably worth putting up with a little more
yeah, and
than Matt Riddle.
I think I'm right in saying, look, it's a different kettle of fish at WWE. They'll manage him
Yeah,
better. And now Vince in around and Triple H and CM Punk have kind of mended things.
yeah,
Hopefully, future's bright for him.
yeah. Hopefully he just goes out and has a good run, even if it's only 2 or 3 years. I'm not sure how long it is. Um, Hall of Fame at the end of it.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think in some ways he should just job to Seth in his first match back, just to be like, yeah, okay, he's gonna play ball basically.
Yeah,
Because he did that with Lesnar, didn't he? They made him job to Cena on his big return,
yeah.
just as basically say like you're our company, and that obviously worked. Still, you're like 10 years later. So what was the Franklin Star rating on Santos Escobar
I,
versus Dragon Lee?
I can't give one because I didn't watch it. So
Okay, fair enough. It was a SmackDown match. It's the best way I can
okay,
describe it. It
okay.
it didn't feel like a pay per view match to me. Right call. I think you just turned Santos Escobar heel. You're obviously doing him versus Rey Mysterio, so I think it was the right call. But
Hmm.
yeah, it was not much of a showcase for Dragon Lee. I didn't think. Um, but yeah, it was all right. If it was on SmackDown, you'd say it was a good match. I think on a pay per view, it was yeah. Next up, we had Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Stark. Rhea Ripley won in 9 minutes 15. Probably one of Rhea's most competitive matches since she became champion.
I thought Zoe was a very good competitor for Rhea.
Yeah, I thought she looked good because I thought the crowd went mild when she came out. I felt for her a bit, Zoe Stark. There was zero reaction, but I think she got the crowd behind her.
But it's because the crowd and the fan base love Rhea.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that weird thing where she's the face now, isn't she? But
Mhm.
she's almost the biggest star in Judgment Day, really.
Yeah,
Even
she
bigger
is.
than Damian Priest, really.
Yeah.
But
It's all about her and Dom, isn't it? Judgment Day.
yeah, I think
A
so.
little side
Yeah. But
storyline.
it was nice to see Rhea get, because I think Rhea's okay. I don't think I don't see what everyone sees in her, to be honest. Like, I don't think she's the most amazing women's wrestler of all time. Like, I think she's good, but
Mm,
I don't think she's in the kind of the league of like Becky and Charlotte for me personally. But I think it was good to see her wrestle, not just be a manager, because it sometimes feels like she's a world champion and she's just managing other people. I don't
yeah.
think sometimes Judo treat the men's champion like that.
No.
So it was good to see her in a competitive match on a big event like this.
Yeah. I think I can see what you're saying with her not being kind of on the same level as some of the others,
Yeah.
but she's still young.
Yeah, I think star power she definitely is. I just not as entertained by her matches at the moment. But then part of that's because they make her dominant, and we're not meant to be. We're
Yeah.
still in that phase of presenting her like a big threat
Yeah.
rather than like as a competitive champion. Like those big matches will come. Like I've no doubt she'll go like 20, 30 minutes of WrestleMania,
hmm
and whoever it's with, and it'll be a really good match. Um,
Yeah, because they need to.
yeah,
She's one of the ones that they're going to pass the torch to because Charlotte and Becky are the nicest way aren't going to have that long left, are they?
yeah. Did you see that press conference where that journalist was saying to him, like basically trying to hint that they were close to retirement, and they got like jokingly offended, but also still quite offended. He was just like, "Let me just start again. Let me start again." But I thought that was
Yeah.
quite funny because they still look relatively young. But yeah, I think what he was trying to say was that they've been on the main roster for about 8 years now.
Yeah.
Them two, and obviously these kind of people coming up. Yeah, I think Rhea Ripley's reign's going to go on for a while. I think she'll take it through WrestleMania.
Yeah. I think they'll take it to whenever they decide to break up the Judgment Day. I think it'll all come at the same time
Yeah, yeah,
because they hinted at it, didn't they, when they lost the what titles? Did they lose the tag title? They lost the tag titles that night.
yeah. They seem to get really close to it a couple of times, and then they've kind of backed off now.
And when Dom lost the North American Championships, she
Yeah,
said that you better go out and win it again or you're out,
yeah.
kind
Was
of
that in
thing.
the same week, pretty much?
Yeah. So then
Yeah,
if she loses her title,
yeah.
what does that mean for the Judgment Day?
Yeah, very bloodliney in that way, I think, isn't it? Where it's
Yeah.
you're almost kind of waiting for it to fall down. Which is why I don't think it'll happen yet, because I think they don't want to do that storyline on two brands. So they'll
hmm
do it with Roman first, I think. I think it's
Yeah.
time for him to lose at WrestleMania. And then after that, yeah, they might do it with Judgment Day later in the year, or even the main year after
Yeah.
when it comes to it. But it'll be interesting. I think she'll hopefully lose it to someone um kind
Like
of
Zoe. I
yeah,
think
someone
Zoe would
new,
be a good.
basically. Someone who's probably NXT now.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a good pay per view between her and Bianca Belair, or even if you or just put someone there against someone like Becky and just have a defeat her,
hmm
just get another big win under her belt.
Yeah.
I bet
Yeah.
she
That's
could
maybe
do
what
that
she
then.
needs.
Yeah, I think so. There was rumors that Becky was going to win the Rumble. It seems to have gone a bit quiet, but I think that would be a good main event match.
hmm Agreed.
Um, yeah. What do you give this match?
Yeah, I'd give it 3 stars.
Yeah, it
Good
was a good. It was
match.
a good match. Yeah, it was a good match. I thought Zoe Stark. I don't think Zoe Stark lost anything.
No.
I think she still looks quite the threat going forward. It definitely looks like a future women's champion, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um, and then the main event, we've discussed quite a bit of it, but we've not gone in the weeds of it. Men's War Games match was the main event. So the babyface team of Cody Rhodes, Seth freaking Rollins, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and Randy Orton, the returning Randy Orton, defeated the Judgment Day and Drew McIntyre. What would you make of this?
I love this match.
Yeah,
Just awesome.
yeah. Really,
Stand
really
out.
well put together, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah. I think the fact that you had Drew and Damien like staring off at the
Hmm.
start kind of just added that hint that something was going to kick off.
Yeah.
I thought that Randy was going to turn, and I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah, I'm glad we just got the Randy Orton greatest hits
Yeah,
um at the end of that. The draped DDT. It was great. I liked how his first RKO back was on Dom Mysterio as well. That was a nice touch. Just he was the first one. Everyone else got the body slam and he got the RKO at the beginning.
Was the RKO from the top of the cage one of the greatest RKOs of all time?
Yeah, he was
It's
really
definitely
good.
up there.
I was like, bloody hell, he's not going to hit it. But it was, I thought that was genius. The fact they threw him to the wolves, basically.
Yeah,
Um, I was surprised in a way that they gave Cody Rhodes the pin on that one.
and not
Like,
Randy.
Randy Orton, or even Sami Zayn, because he'd been the one who kind of started the feud with Judgment Day. So I thought he might have been the one
Mm,
to wrap it up. Really, I guess Cody's the biggest star, um, and I kind of liked how it was Cody Rhodes' music that they cut off for CM Punk because everyone was really into it, wasn't they? So you
yeah,
kind of noticed it more
yeah.
when it abruptly ended, when everyone was singing along. But yeah, I thought it was amazing. I think I said at the beginning they had five baby faces all completely over. There was no like mixed reactions for anyone.
No,
It was just the crowd were red hot for like five baby faces, which is just unreal for WWE. I just can't remember the last time they're in a position like
usually,
this.
usually you just have one or two, don't you?
Yeah, and this is without like LA Knight, Kevin Owens, people like that
Yeah.
on the SmackDown brand even been there.
But then, yes to LA Knight, but is Kevin Owens over as much as any of them five? No, he's not.
I don't think so. No, I don't think he's quite in that. He's kind of floundering a bit on SmackDown, isn't he? He's kind of feuding with. Well, I guess he's in a kind of almost like a tag team feud now, isn't it? With LA Knight against Grayson
Hmm.
Waller and Austin Theory. I think they need to find him something to do as well coming into WrestleMania season.
Yes. Yeah, they do.
Um, what
But
that
then
is, I
if
don't know.
Cody's in the main event, what do you do with Jay? Yeah, well, I suppose that's Drew McIntyre, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm still worried they're going to go back to Jay versus Jimmy, but I don't know if I care. I think I'd rather they just pivot now and do a big match between Jay and Drew.
That's if Drew re-signs. I
Yeah.
think if he don't re-sign, they won't bother with him in WrestleMania.
No, yeah, it's interesting to see if they'll just do like another like 2 week extension because it's like mid March, isn't it? His contract's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember when Dean Ambrose was in this phase and they just didn't put him on WrestleMania and he had his last match the next night. And then he had another last match and another last match. But it was meant to be his last match was meant to be the night after WrestleMania that year.
But then I'm sure WWE aren't going to want to lose someone like Drew McIntyre.
No, and I don't think he would. I think he maybe get more money from AEW, but I don't think it's a viable option now. I think AEW is a. It's never going to be number one now. I think there was probably a point during the pandemic when WWE was the drizzling shits for a little bit, and AEW was legitimately better. But I think we're so far. I think it was Mania 38 for me. I don't think it was this year's WrestleMania. I think it's the year before where the tide had turned, in my
Yeah,
opinion, and it was
agreed.
just
Yeah, because then they've
WWE just
gone.
became bigger at that point.
So then we went on to have like Clash.
Yeah,
Clash was awesome.
yeah. I
And
mean, that
then
year they had like five stadium shows, didn't they? It's
yeah,
ridiculous, really.
and then into WrestleMania this year, which was just
Yeah,
on another level.
yeah. And then this year they've sold like 57,000 tickets for each night, I think, so far already. Royal Rumble's in like a 40,000 seat venue. It's yeah. I just think WWE's just so far beyond now that I don't think it's you ain't going to prove a point and come back any bigger. I think at this point,
Yeah,
I think there's people in AEW who could come across now and could make themselves bigger stars in WWE. But I think anyone, like even if Edge or Jericho come back to WWE now, I don't think they would be any bigger
no,
than they were when they were left. Like they're still big stars and they're still returning legends. But I don't think it's possible anymore to go and do a Cody because I don't think as many people care about AEW now. Like the reason Cody's a big star now is because he made AEW look like a legitimate threat to WWE's dominance.
yes,
Whereas I don't think there's anyone really capable of doing that now, other than CM Punk, who ironically has just moved across to WWE. But like Edge hasn't made any big difference, and I would argue that Edge is probably a bigger star than Drew McIntyre on balance.
yeah, yeah, he is.
So I don't know. I think it would only be for money that you would go to AEW now. I think otherwise the motivation is to stay in WWE.
Yeah,
But there's probably people listening to this screaming at me, going, "You're
about
wrong."
the more people getting raises, etc. I think fingers crossed.
Hmm. Yeah,
You have people like Drew stick around.
yeah. But AEW can offer Drew the chance to win a world championship in his home country, sort of, in England at Wembley. Um, but they may have already offered that to Will Ospreay, so who knows? Like it's
Yeah,
difficult. It's difficult, but that's maybe the one thing they could do, unless if we see WWE like announce like a show at Hampton Park or something next year, then I think we'll know that Drew McIntyre is staying around. Um,
you need
but
to get
yeah,
the
no,
title
I,
off Roman
I, I hope
first,
it
don't you?
does. Yeah, I want to see Drew McIntyre actually win the big one in front of fans. I think he deserves that. I think he deserves a world title run
Yes,
in WWE at
I'd
some
agree.
point. Yeah, so I hope he sticks around for that, even though it won't be this year's WrestleMania. But he's only young. Um, Anything else stand out for you in the War Games match before we wrap it up?
Well, off the top of my head, no. But I have selections then.
No, I'm trying to think of some big spots, but I didn't take any notes because like we weren't originally going to review this for this
No,
show.
I just sat and enjoyed it.
So yeah, I just sat in bed and watched the whole thing Sunday morning. But I didn't take any notes, but I do remember it being very good.
Hmm.
I'd kind of I'd spoiled the ending for myself because I'd seen the CM Punk return video on Twitter at this point, so I knew who the winners were going to be. But
See,
I don't think that spoiled anything really, because I think you could tell the Money in the Bank tease was good, even though I knew it wasn't going to go anywhere.
yeah, that was
I
good.
still felt like it was going to happen. I was like, oh, this is
See,
interesting.
I knew that CM Punk was going to return. I didn't see the return video.
Yeah.
One thing that I thought they did very well for people who would have been watching it live at home was Cole was signing off. The
Hmm.
WE logo came in the right hand corner.
Yeah.
Camera
And they
panned
panned
out,
out. Yeah.
so they're all in the ring, and then his music hit.
Yeah. Did you apparently Triple H took over the production for like the last 2 minutes? Um, so he was doing all that himself. I don't think he was
Right,
actually the guy physically called like clicking on the button, but he was the guy saying,
calling
right,
it.
move to that shot, move to that shot. Because he was the only one who knew it was going to happen. Him and
Yeah,
I'm assuming that Bruce Pritchard and people like that knew at that point. I don't think like they would have hidden it that far, but I
yeah,
guess we'll find out. But yeah, Triple H loves doing that, and it gets me every time. The DIY turn back in the day, of only takeovers was like that, and I think I did he do it when Cena came back? Was it Cena or Lesnar? One of them. I'm sure we've seen it again recently with that big return at the end.
he's just
But
very good at it because he's done it. He's been there and he's
yeah,
learned, I think, so much.
hmm,
One thing I
yeah,
was excited about at the start was we got the William Regal War Games
yes,
in the video
yeah,
package.
yeah. I wonder what his reaction to CM Punk's like. 'Cause apparently CM Punk blanked him, didn't he? Called him
Yeah,
a stooge
yeah.
for Triple H of all people
I'm sure they'll mend.
when he turned up for AEW. Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll get Regal on their TV soon.
Yeah, is it a year? Or he has
Yeah,
to wait out at the end of his AEW contract, whenever that is. But he must have been there a while now.
yeah.
But
Getting back on NXT for me.
yeah, well, apparently that's what he told Tony Khan he was going to do. But he's been one of Triple H's right hand men, I think,
Yeah, doesn't
on the
stop
main
him being on
roster.
NXT as well, though, does it?
No, it could be I don't know. Is there a GM on NXT at the moment? Oh, Shawn Michaels, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a GM. But yeah, I thought he was an alright commentator as well. Step in every now and again. But yeah, back to that CM Punk ending for a second. I just thought he was the most. I wish I'd seen it. I wish I'd stayed up to watch it live, even though it would have ruined my Sunday, and I definitely wouldn't have got that Christmas tree. Um, but it was just the most mental thing ever. It was like literally, it was what a good show. It's like, oh, by the way, we're in Chicago. It's just fucking CM Punk just coming out. But it was like the most random ending. Like all he did was come out and go, "Hey, I'm here now," and it was just. He didn't even have to do anything. There was no commentary, no nothing. It was
No,
the most. It was almost like if you were playing like Total Extreme Warfare or whatever, and you're like, fucking hell, I've got 2 minutes left. What do I do? Just stick CM Punk
I
coming
do
out at the
think
end.
I do think they missed a trick by not showing Seth Rollins exploding on TV.
Yeah. I wonder if they were doing that on purpose because Triple H likes his viral stuff, doesn't he?
Mm,
You obviously with the Bray Wyatt return last year,
yeah,
which is another Triple H masterclass. I find it quite interesting that everyone was looking at hints and I remember this is a hint to CM Punk, etc. And it's like, no, no, you're looking too deep. But it's like you had to look really deep to see the Bray Wyatt stuff last year.
yeah. Well, like, did you see the one of the cameraman where goes like that with his hand and
Yes,
signals Drew to, and then
to
Drew
walk
runs
out.
off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're doing it on purpose, like not showing it because more people talk about it this way. Because
Mm,
there's something about CM Punk that everything that happens around him, everyone thinks is real.
yeah.
Like regardless of it, if it is or not, everyone just seems to go, yeah, that was real. Everyone's pissed off. Everyone hates him, and I think that's quite
But then I don't.
intriguing. It's like they're
I
almost
s
playing off his notoriety from AEW.
Yeah. But then it's CM Punk and Drew McIntyre even ever cross paths. Maybe in the early days,
I assume they will have been there at the same time,
but that'd have been before everything kicked off with Punk.
and it would have been before Drew McIntyre was a big star for sure.
Yeah.
That would have been in his chosen one three-man band era. So
Hmm.
yeah, and yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, even if maybe they, we talked at the start of the show about MJF, and we think he's re-signed, but they're playing off as if he hasn't. Maybe it's the same with Drew McIntyre. The more intrigue there is that he's going to leave, the better the story.
Yeah.
They've done it with CM Punk before as well. Some Money in the Bank, 2011. Um,
Time will tell on
and
this one,
yeah,
won't it?
but all interesting stuff as we continue to build to UK Rampage 2 here on the Wrestling Around podcast. Also the Royal Rumble, I guess. We better wrap it up there because it's bloody late.
Yeah,
Didn't realize
isn't
what
it?
time it was. Should probably go to bed. I've got work in mind.
Hmm.
So overall, what was your rating for Survivor Series 2023?
Oh, so I'd go 5 stars for the main event.
Yeah.
Overall, I'm gonna go 4 stars, 4.5 stars.
Yeah,
Four,
I think it was
yeah.
good. Yeah, I think I'd give it
Oh,
an
yeah.
8 or a 9. I appreciate the fact it was only a 3 hour show,
Yeah.
It's quite easy
Yeah.
to watch, but it was really good. It didn't feel too slow. It felt well paced. I even watched
Five.
the full press conference because I
Yeah.
needed more at that point.
5 matches was enough on it.
Yeah, I really like this. It's like you can put your bigger matches on TV at the same time. It's how I used to do takeovers, isn't it? And I
Hmm.
like it's continued at main roster. And it gives it a break. Like, we've just missed LA Knight, but I don't think we missed anything. Not having LA Knight, he'll be on the next one. We can see him on.
Yeah.
We didn't even miss Roman Reigns, and it was like one of the biggest shows of the year. It's definitely the biggest Survivor Series in a long time for me, probably since Sting came back like 10 years ago, or whatever that
I don't
was.
know. Last year we had the Bloodline, didn't we?
Yeah, we had the War Games match last year, so that was pretty big. But considering Survivor Series was like dead and buried a few years ago, and they were almost scrapped it, it's good to see it back as
Yeah.
a big pay per view again.
Yeah, I am enjoying the War Games Survivor Series.
Yeah, I wish it there.
It's
Well,
a good
hopefully
concept.
they'll continue it further. Yeah, it's really good. Right, we'll wrap it up there. Aaron, can we find you on any social media?
Yeah, Twitter when I can be bothered. Frankenstein Night One.
Yeah, sounds good. You can find me at Leo Markham. At some point, I was going to say this Wednesday, but I don't want to guarantee it. But just keep your eyes peeled on the twitch.tv/wrestling around. The Wrestling Around Wrestling Federation will not be coming back because I can't be asked to recreate everyone on 2K23. But I've got a new game that I've downloaded called Frog Detective,
Wow.
where you're a frog who looks for clues. So I'm going to play that. I've
Brilliant.
deliberately not opened it so we could play it together on the Twitch stream at some point. So look out for that at some point this week. You might be seeing me on Frog Detective on twitch.tv/wrestling if I can find the password and I can update the videos because it's been since March, I think, since we last. One of us last streamed, so it's been a while. It's basically since the new WWE game came out, and I thought I can't be asked to recreate everything. So I just kind of stopped at that point. So I've got a few animals, but I'm just going to wait till 2K24 now. For the rest of the Wrestling Federation. But yeah, watch out for Frog Detective. So yeah, Aaron, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
And thank you all. Special thanks to Nick, and see you next week for Wrestling Society X, episode 8.